Hey everyone, it's M4J here, and welcome back to the new M4J Network here on openttd. Last time out, we built this Sanley TMD. The more I look at it, the more I am starting to like it. I was watching back the footage as I was editing it, and it's kind of one of those things where you build it, you look at it, you think, it's not really what I wanted it to be, but actually, I do like it. The more I look at it, the more I do like it, and I can see its practical uses. Also, while I was editing, I realized that actually all of this doesn't have to be for overhead electrification at all. I could just reserve that for this section down here at the bottom and then convert all this stuff here back into third rail, and that opens up a lot more possibilities as to what we can do here. And as soon as I started thinking that, I felt a lot better about all this. So I think this is going to be just fine. I will redo some of the depots over here to make it all match and things like that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this now. I think it does actually work for what I originally envisaged it would be for. Speaking of originally envisaging things, over here on the Sanley Bay lines, so if you follow them over here, I love this. I still love this inlet, by the way. I really want to make use of this for something. I've no idea what. Could potentially build a cruise terminal up here at Dronding Head. Maybe even find a way to connect it. Kind of ran away with my thoughts a little bit there. Maybe if I built a bridge across here and then redirected the line that way, we could have the water continue this way and have a cruise terminal over here, and maybe even connect it up to Limpingburg Station, and then from there people can get the train into Sanley itself. But I really like the idea that we've got here for these bay lines, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today, because the bay lines here, they come down this way and they border this, which is going to be the site of our Southwestern freight terminal. But we're also going to be building a freight jetty over here on this little peninsula. We're going to be building some docks attached to it. I am going to very quickly remove that dock there because it doesn't really fit in with what I wanted to do. So we've got the three... Oh, they hate me. All the local authorities hate me. It might have something to do with the fact that I keep building these massive stations and they're not running any services through. That might have something to do with it. Does very poor work? Nope. Poor does work though. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to decorate these stations at some point in the future as well. And yeah, we're going to build the freight jetty here. It's probably going to be 3 platforms. And the plan is to use shunters to bring trains down along this line here. Now, there is one problem with doing that, which is I don't know what the speed limit of the shunters are. I have a feeling they're quite low. If only I had a depot where I could actually check. Over here, there we go. And if I find something like an 08 would be good. Where are they? They're a long way down. I'm going to start removing some of these new GRFs as well because they are a bit of a pain. There we go. So I wanted an 08. Top speed 20 miles an hour. Okay, 13, 20 miles an hour. 31, that's a bit too fast for my liking, and we're way beyond the stage of using steam locos, so I think it will have to be a 20 mile an hour 08, which is fine with some careful timetabling. That's no problem. It does just mean that we'll have to do some careful planning to make sure that's not the issue. Also the fact, passenger trains along this line are only going to be going 30 miles an hour anyway, so it's not going to be a massive difference in speed. Maybe 40, so it could be a bit of a difference in speed, but it should be manageable still. Anyway, so the first thing I want to do today is build this freight jetty here. Once we've got this out of the way, I'm then going to talk about what I want to do next. So let's get cracking. Alrighty then, we are back. Let me talk you through what I've done. So, this here is Fluntown Harbour. This is where the... I was going to make a really bad pun. I was going to say this is where the Flund happens, but you know what I mean. So over here we have got, besides the bad puns, flatland required. It would help if I built it the right way around. No? Oh, it has to be too wide. That's why. So I can't build that there. That's annoying. Hang on. I might be able to place something else here though, which would be cool. There you go. Little hut there. Yeah, I've distracted myself already. That's good, isn't it? So yeah, over here we've got 3 platforms, one slightly longer than the others. This one, these 2 here are mainly going to be for the little shunters. This one here could potentially be used for main trains, because this is 8 tiles long, I believe. Yes. The reason that there's this building at the end here, I'll just close that. I'm imagining, so there's no run-round facilities here, you might see, and there's also no loop. It's not a Ro-Ro station. This houses a traverser. Now, I wanted to have a traverser, obviously not a functional one, because that's not the way the game works, but I wanted to have some kind of visible traverser. Unfortunately, there's no such thing in openttd yet. Someone might be in the process of making one, who knows. But right now, I just thought I would go ahead and build a building and pretend that that is the traverser instead, which I think works quite well. I'm loving these. These look really cool. I might even put some decoration along this back end here as well, like that, for example. That works. Actually, it'd be probably better off there. So if I grab you, put you back, there we are. And then I can maybe put something down here as well. I don't know what though. But I like this. You've got 4 berths here for ships. 3 tracks for trains. Nothing for trucks, but I'm not anticipating having trucks down here anyway, so I think that's fine. I'm tempted to put a signal here just so that only trains heading in this direction are allowed through. What I might do for that though is actually use a shunt signal, which would probably work well. First of all, if I had the right one. There we go. And that might also work well for these. First time using shunt signals on the M4J network, which is quite exciting. Deny. If entry direction is from the back, then allow. That just stops trains from leaving, heading in the wrong direction, which I'm a big fan of. Right, and then just up the line here at Fluntown Port, hadn't actually realised it's the same town, but there we go. We have this. So we've got a port and we've got a fishing harbour, both of which are connected to this station. It's a single platform station. Again, this is mainly going to be for the shunters. The big trains are probably just going to go straight through on their way to the harbour. There is also a couple of docks here. There are also a couple of docks here, along with this lovely looking crane, which to be honest would have probably worked better in front here, but never mind, it's here now. I could in fact use objects to build the crane instead. That might work better. But yeah, I'm happy. I like it a lot. I think this looks really cool. There may be some other shipping facilities around here in the future. I am going to go through and remove all of these. I believe I have turned off industry generation in the game now, and I will place them manually because some of these are a little ridiculous. See, the game just went mental with populating the map with industries, and I don't like it. I think it looks a bit derpy. So we're going to remove the vast majority of these. Some like this. This one here actually acts as a little bit of like eye candy, so I'm tempted to leave it. Similarly, over here, I'm tempted to leave some of the... What is that one? Are you just a... Oh, you're a bulk terminal. Ah, that was the other one. Okay, hang on. I'm going to remove this fishing harbour and I'm going to replace it with a bulk terminal. There we go. That's what I was looking for. That makes so much more sense. Now, what do you accept? Building materials, petrol, food, and you create farm supplies and chemicals. You, goods, fruit, manufacturing supplies, and you produce engineering supplies. That's a good mix, actually. I'm quite happy with that. Nice. Alrighty, so yeah, we've got an eclectic mix of industries here coming through. It's whoops, clicking the wrong things now as well. It is a shame that this isn't actually connected to any industries. This has to be, you know, load onto a boat, go somewhere else kind of thing. There may be a possibility to build a canal somewhere that emerges. Already I'm looking at this as an option, and actually have this sort of carve its way through up to this lake here, and then start connecting some waterways up across the map. So already from there you can get across to here maybe. There is a bit of a hill there in the way. Also that way. And then with the use of waypoints and buoys and things like that, we should be able to get a fair... What's this? Oh, it's Queen City. Wow, I got lost on my own network then. We should be able to get a fair number of waterways up and running. But right now, the next focus is going to be on this over here. It's going to be about connecting up the main line here in both directions with a freight terminal here. All of these industries that are here, I'm probably going to remove and replace just because I think it'll be easier to do that. Plus, I mean, the likelihood of a coal mine being here, for example, is pretty low, let's be honest. Things like furniture factory, though, that's quite realistic. There is one further up the line as well, but I like the idea of having one there. It just gives this whole place a reason to exist, really. And you can imagine the lines here linked up, and then freight terminal here, and then down this way would be where the shunters come, and then they join the main, the branch line here, and then run down to the port over here. That'd be pretty cool. So this isn't going to be connected to water. I was debating doing it, but I'm not going to, because then that defeats the point of having the other port. Right. Let's hope I can do this one in a single go and not have to rebuild it, because I'm getting a little bit tired of having to rebuild things here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, let's get on with it, shall we? Okay, and I think that will do it here for now. There's loads of eye candy and things that need to be added, facilities and whatnot. Also just realised that this road here needs to be extended a little bit further. There we go. But this is the basic structure of what I wanted to do here. So you can kind of see the layout. We've got raw products on the east side here. So we have minerals over here being loaded, minerals over here being unloaded. You can kind of see how that production line would work. It might actually have made more sense to have the unloading and then the loading, but it's fine. Then we've got milk and alcohol. They don't quite go together, those two. Not at all, really, but I put them together because, you know, they carry fluids, basically. So I thought, pumping stations, that would be good. But yeah, this is, so what have we got here? We've got bauxite, clay, coal, iron ore, sand and stone. So literally the minerals. And this is if the train has anything above 0, it'll come here. And then, anything below 0, I've got less than or equal to, I think that makes sense. It'll come through here. Anything above 0, it will come over here first to unload. Then over on this one here, we've got alcohol and milk. This one here is livestock. I'm tempted to add to that, but I don't quite know what right now. Here we've got fruit and grain. Here is wood. And those are, I believe, all of the raw materials that are on this map. Now we have got fruit, but I don't think we actually have fruit in the game. So that might have been a bit redundant. But yeah, I think that is all of the raw stuff that we have. I'm just looking to see if there were actually any. That almost looks like a traverser. So does that, in fact. But yeah, I don't think there are any in the game, which is fine. Then we've got processed. So over here we have timber. Whoops, timber twice. Metal. Then we've also got over here the big one. We'll come back to that one in just a second. And then actually this one is also that, thinking about it. So here we've got building materials, engineering supplies, farm supplies, food, goods and manufacturing supplies. So basically anything that is kind of a secondary product. And again, if we look over here, you've got general cargo here, you've got containers, you've got metal. Yep, that's all fine. Barrels we'll come back to in a second. Timber. And there is paper here as well. But again, I don't think... Is paper a thing? If I look at industry chains, paper. No. No paper. So there are some that we've got missing from here. So for example, we haven't got fish coming through here. We haven't got... Oh, we do have fruit. Yeah, fruit plantation. Do we have fruit plantation? I don't actually know if we have fruit plantation. But yeah, fruit... we may connect up at some point. But yeah, the other ones that we haven't got coming through here. Nuclear waste, which again, I don't think we actually have set up. I think that's a remnant from when I was messing around with industry new GRFs years ago now. Plant fibers don't come through here. Recyclables. Scrap metal does, I want to say, but maybe it doesn't. In which case, actually here, I'm going to add an ore. Cargo, scrap metal. We're not going to have scrap metal traveling on mineral trains anymore. That's going to be a separate thing. We also don't have sugar beet, uranium, or wool coming through here. But again, wool could technically come into this one over here, or it could just go somewhere else. And for those wondering where oil goes, well, oil goes over here to Nudhead Oil Terminal. So this one over here, this is Chardingham Freight Terminal, and this is the oil terminal. And if you saw me tracing with the mouse just now, with the cursor, that was me making sure that trains can actually access the oil terminal from both directions, which I'm pleased to say they can, which is excellent. And yeah, I'm really happy with this. So this is the freight terminal here. We've got access to the main line running north via this junction here with the flyover on the fast line. Again, I've kind of built this with the pretense that the fast line might not be existing for much longer over here, so it's just kind of jumping over it for now. And if the fast line does get removed, then it will be as if it was never here. Likewise down this side, so this is where the branch line connection is, and again, pretty straightforward. trains will be able to run from there down to the port, where they'll be unloading all of their stuff, or over here to the harbour, or over here to the port, where they'll be unloading things like building materials, food, goods, manufacturing supplies, even petrol can come down here, which is pretty cool. And then finally, we've got the 2 connections here. One connects to the main line heading east, and again, with a straddle junction here and a flyover bridge. So if the fast lines get removed, it doesn't look too bad. Now this here, I've kind of built this at the moment as a bit of a placeholder, but essentially this is going to be a freight only line that could potentially end up running across the map. I've done it on Transport Fever too. It works really, really well. So I thought, why not see about getting some freight only lines here on the M4J network as well. We were supposed to have those before, way back when, you may remember. But in the end, we ran past so many towns that it became what is now the Country Western line, that runs through can't remember the name of the towns now, but it runs up to Mewood along the north coast. That used to be a freight only line, believe it or not, and just over time it's developed into what it is now. I'm just going to build a little road connection along here as well. I think I'm going to do it like this. Is there a convert? There is a convert button. Would you look at that? Did not know that existed. But yeah, we're going to do that. We could also, in fact, do that. Not that there's a reason to do it, but never mind. It's done now. And then over here, this is probably going to connect up with the town. In fact, right there. Looks like a perfect spot in which to do it. So if I was to do this, and then do that. Build a viaduct across like so. And yeah, you'll connect down and you'll connect in. We could even do something on this side as well. Alrighty, I'm happy. I like this. I think it's actually gone a lot better than I thought it would. You may have seen several times, in fact, during the build, that I kind of deleted things and started again. I've actually, on my other monitor here, I've done some Googling. Just looked up, UK rail freight terminals. There's the Port of Felixstowe, which was kind of the inspiration for this one here. It's just a load of siding tracks next to each other. Coatbridge Freightliner Terminal as well. I don't actually know where Coatbridge is. If you live there, hello to Coatbridge. There's loads. There's loads that I'm looking up, and they are literally all just tracks next to each other with container cranes overhead. There's nothing really special about them. Even Daventry International, which is one that I have heard of many times before, it's just a load of sidings next to each other. So this is kind of my in-game interpretation as to what that would look like, and I'm pretty happy with it. Anyway, I think I've talked enough. I think it's time to wrap things up here. So thank you very much everybody for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series so far. Drop those comments down below with ideas for future episodes. Really appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. Otherwise, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. Let's go do a little bit more terraforming here. There we go. Enjoy the rest of your evenings, and until next time, as I replace all the trees here, I will see you soon.